3 types of neighbors to avoid, 3 types of relatives to keep your distance from. Stoicism. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Our world revolves around relationships. Within our family, we have relatives who shape our earliest memories, and as soon as we step outside, we interact with neighbors, colleagues, and friends. These connections can be a source of joy, support, and shared experiences. But let's be honest, they can also bring stress, conflict, and unease. There's a timeless piece of wisdom that says, "Show me your company, and I'll show you your future." It's a reminder that not every relationship is worth holding on to. Some neighbors, no matter how familiar, are better left at arm's length, and certain relatives, despite the bond of family, are best loved from a distance. Modern life often glorifies being connected to everyone, but sometimes the healthiest choice is to create boundaries that protect your peace and well-being. How do you recognize these people? In today's video, we'll dive into the 3 types of neighbors to avoid and the 3 types of relatives to keep your distance from. By understanding these dynamics, you'll learn how to create an environment that fosters tranquility and joy. Stick around, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to ensure you never miss content that helps you live with intention and wisdom. Let's begin. Number 1. 3 types of neighbors to avoid. 1. The gossip. The company we keep significantly impacts our peace of mind, and understanding who to trust or avoid is key to cultivating resilience and harmony. Through the lens of modern Stoicism, let's explore 3 types of neighbors and relatives to approach with caution. First, the gossipers. These individuals thrive on spreading rumors and twisting facts, leaving behind a trail of broken trust and unnecessary drama. Take Mrs. Hoa, whose casual remark about her daughter's work spiraled into exaggerated tales of financial ruin. To protect your peace, follow Epictetus's wisdom. Keep silence for the most part, or speak only what is necessary. Set firm boundaries, stay neutral, and avoid engaging in their stories. Next are the complainers, neighbors who focus on negatives, dragging others into their dissatisfaction. Whether it's endless complaints about their lawn or local politics, these individuals fixate on problems instead of solutions, making their misery contagious. To guard your energy, redirect the conversation or politely disengage, prioritizing your tranquility. Lastly, beware of meddlers who blur boundaries and insert themselves into your decisions under the guise of care. Whether offering unsolicited advice or assuming roles they were never invited to, meddlers often foster resentment. As Seneca advised, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Politely assert your boundaries, letting them know you prefer to make your own choices. When it comes to relatives, similar caution is needed. The chronic critic is the first type to avoid. These relatives constantly point out flaws and undermine accomplishments, affecting your self-esteem. Remember Epictetus's teaching, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Choose not to let their words define you and limit exposure where necessary. Next are manipulators, who use guilt or obligation to control you, leaving you drained and resentful. Recognize their tactics and reclaim your autonomy with respectful but firm decisions. As Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality, so don't let fear of conflict trap you in their games." Finally, be cautious of envious relatives who resent your success and undermine you out of insecurity. Their subtle criticisms and competitive behavior create tension rather than support. Celebrate your victories with those who genuinely uplift you, and don't dim your light to appease their discomfort. As Marcus Aurelius noted, envy is the enemy of happiness. Emotional distance can help protect your peace and ensure your achievements are celebrated in the right company. Reflect on how the people in your life affect your inner peace. Are you mindful of the influences you allow, or do you let others dictate your emotional state? Modern Stoicism teaches us to choose who occupies our mental and emotional space. By setting boundaries with toxic individuals and nurturing relationships that align with our values, we honor the Stoic ideal of living with virtue and tranquility. Who in your life supports your growth, and who might you need to step away from to preserve your peace? 2. The selfish neighbor. Some neighbors and relatives bring harmony into our lives, while others can drain our energy and disrupt our peace. Today, let's explore 3 types of neighbors and relatives you might want to keep your distance from, not because of malice, but because protecting your tranquility and sense of fairness is a vital part of a well-lived life. Take the selfish neighbor, for instance. Those individuals who prioritize their needs above all else and seldom reciprocate kindness. Imagine Mr. Hung, who was always ready to lend a hand to his neighbor, Mr. Tan. From fixing appliances to helping move heavy furniture, Mr. Hung believed in fostering goodwill. Yet, when Mr. Hung found himself stranded with a car breakdown and turned to Mr. Tan for help, he was met with indifference and an excuse of being too busy. This is a stark reminder that relationships, even with neighbors, should be a two-way street. If you find yourself constantly giving without receiving even a fraction of the same in return, it's time to set boundaries. The Stoic secrets to dealing with such relationships involve firm yet respectful communication. Decline unreasonable requests with grace and invest your energy in connections rooted in mutual support. Reflect for a moment. Have you encountered someone who drains your goodwill without reciprocating? How did you handle it? Then there are neighbors or relatives who thrive on negativity, the chronic complainers and gossipers. These individuals feed off criticism, spreading dissatisfaction like wildfire. A modern example comes to mind. Think of Jane, whose neighbor Lisa would corner her during walks to complain about everyone else in the neighborhood. Lisa's words were like poison, pulling Jane into a cycle of negativity that clouded her perspective. When Jane realized the impact, she practiced what the Stoics call turning inward, focusing on her own values and steering clear of conversations that didn't serve her peace of mind. If you're in a similar situation, remember that you don't have to absorb others' negativity. Redirect conversations to neutral topics or kindly excuse yourself. Beware of the manipulative neighbor or relative, the one who uses charm as a tool to exploit others. These individuals often have hidden agendas, seeking personal gain at your expense. Consider a family gathering where Sarah, a relative, convinces everyone to fund a shared family project, only to later reveal she used the funds for personal benefit. Such encounters leave you questioning trust and boundaries. In moments like these, Stoic philosophy teaches us to remain calm and anchored. Don't let their actions provoke anger or bitterness in you. Instead, use the experience to reinforce your boundaries and clarify your values. Ask yourself, how can I better protect my principles without compromising my integrity? The essence of Stoic secrets lies in recognizing that we cannot control how others act, but we can control how we respond. By identifying selfishness, negativity, or manipulation in others, we gain the power to safeguard our peace and prioritize relationships that bring balance and value into our lives. Life is too short to be weighed down by those who do not respect your kindness or fairness. What small steps can you take today to foster healthier interactions? Remember, when you choose to surround yourself with uplifting individuals, you create a space for growth, resilience, and true harmony. 3. The neighbor with an unhealthy lifestyle. The people we live near can profoundly impact our mental and emotional well-being. While neighbors can often provide a sense of community and security, some can disrupt our lives in ways that are hard to ignore. Among the most challenging are neighbors with unhealthy lifestyles, those who engage in loud late-night parties, heated arguments, or even illegal activities. These behaviors erode the peace and harmony that a home should offer, creating stress and tension for those living nearby. For example, consider the story of Mr. Min and his family, who endured sleepless nights and constant worry due to their neighbors' disruptive parties. Despite repeated polite attempts to address the issue, the disturbances continued, negatively affecting the family's health, productivity, and overall sense of well-being. This situation illustrates how a single neighbor's inconsiderate actions can ripple through others' lives. When faced with such challenges, it is important to handle the situation thoughtfully, Balancing directness with diplomacy. The first step is to communicate clearly and respectfully. Explain how their behavior is affecting you in a way that invites empathy rather than conflict. For instance, instead of saying, "Your noise is ruining our lives," frame it more constructively. "We've been having trouble sleeping lately because of the late-night noise and would appreciate your help in keeping things quieter." This approach not only conveys the impact of their actions, but also opens the door for cooperation. However, as Marcus Aurelius wisely reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. If your attempts to resolve the issue are met with resistance or indifference, it becomes clear that their behavior is beyond your control. In such cases, protecting your own peace takes precedence. Creating distance from disruptive neighbors is sometimes necessary, whether by minimizing interactions or, in extreme cases, considering a move to a more harmonious environment. While relocation may seem drastic, it's important to remember that your home should be a sanctuary, a place where you can recharge and find comfort. Tolerating constant disruption can have long-term consequences for your mental health and family life. Modern Stoicism offers valuable guidance in these situations, emphasizing the importance of focusing on what you can control, your actions, your responses, and the boundaries you set. By taking deliberate steps to preserve your tranquility, you reclaim your sense of agency and protect your well-being. In today's fast-paced world, where stress and demands are already abundant, allowing a neighbor's behavior to dominate your peace is neither sustainable nor wise. As Seneca advised, associate with those who will make a better man of you. This wisdom applies not only to friends and colleagues, but also to the people who share your environment. Surround yourself with those who contribute to peace and harmony, and establish boundaries with those who do not. By doing so, you can maintain a sense of balance and calm, even in the face of external disruptions. Your well-being is your responsibility. While it's noble to seek understanding and resolution, there are limits to what you can do to change others. The Stoic principle of accepting what lies outside your control, while taking firm action where you can, is key to navigating such situations. If a neighbor with an unhealthy lifestyle continues to disregard your needs, your duty is not to endure indefinitely, but to seek a solution that prioritizes your peace. Whether that means setting boundaries, seeking mediation, or moving to a new environment, the choice is yours to make. By approaching the situation with both wisdom and courage, you embody the principles of modern Stoicism, focusing on what truly matters, the preservation of your inner peace and the well-being of those you hold dear. What kind of neighbor or relative have you encountered the most? Gossiper, complainer, or meddler? Let us know in the comments with just one word: gossiper, complainer, or meddler. And don't stop here. Stay tuned until the end of the video, because the upcoming segment, number 2, 3 types of relatives to avoid, is packed with surprises and insights you won't want to miss. Number 2, 3 types of relatives to avoid. 1. The borrower who doesn't repay. Money and family can be a delicate mix, especially when trust and respect are absent. One of the hardest situations to manage is dealing with a borrower who doesn't repay, a relative who takes advantage of goodwill and creates financial strain and emotional stress. These actions often leave behind resentment and fractured relationships. Take Ms. Lan, for example. She lent her cousin a large sum to start a restaurant, trusting that repayment would naturally follow. But 2 years later, not only was the money unpaid, her cousin had begun avoiding her, pretending the agreement never existed. This betrayal didn't just cost her financially, it exposed a lack of respect and care for their relationship. The resulting resentment caused a deep rift between them, a powerful reminder of the risks of lending to the wrong person. Stoic philosophy provides valuable guidance in these scenarios. Epictetus wisely said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Often, habitual borrowers act out of poor self-discipline rather than true need, assuming family bonds erase the obligation to repay. Modern Stoicism teaches us to approach such situations with a balance of wisdom and compassion. Before lending money, ask yourself, is this person reliable, and will this help them grow or simply enable harmful habits? Protecting your financial and emotional well-being isn't selfish, it's an act of self-respect. Setting clear terms before lending, even with family, is essential. Agreements should be precise and in significant cases written down, not out of mistrust but to maintain clarity and respect. What if the borrower doesn't repay? Seneca reminds us, the wise man is neither raised up by prosperity nor cast down by adversity. Lending money should only happen if you can afford to lose it without regret. If repayment is unlikely, consider saying no. Offer alternative support, like advice or encouragement, but avoid putting yourself in a vulnerable position. This approach doesn't make you unkind. It ensures that generosity doesn't come at the expense of your peace or stability. Still, the guilt of refusing financial help can feel overwhelming, especially if a relative presents their situation as dire. Here, Stoicism's dichotomy of control offers insight. As Epictetus teaches, some things are up to us, and some things are not. While you can't control how others react to your decision, you can control your reasoning. If you refuse with wisdom and care, you've made the right choice, even if it's misunderstood. Lending isn't always an act of kindness. Sometimes it's enabling irresponsibility. By saying no, you protect the relationship from the resentment that unpaid debts often create. Have you faced such a dilemma, where helping someone felt like a duty but risked your peace of mind? Reflect on how it played out and whether it brought harmony or regret. Generosity without boundaries can trap both parties in dependency and conflict. Refusing to lend doesn't mean a lack of compassion. It's about acting with foresight and self-respect. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Being good often means making difficult choices that protect your well-being and align with your values. Modern Stoicism encourages clear thinking in financial matters, reminding us that family bonds should never come at the cost of stability. Lending money is always a risk, but thoughtful boundaries can transform it into a source of mutual respect rather than tension. True generosity stems from strength, not sacrifice. When you lend, do so with clear eyes and full awareness of potential outcomes. And if you decline, let kindness and conviction guide you, knowing you're safeguarding your peace and the health of the relationship. Next time a relative asks for financial help, pause and reflect. Are they truly in need, or avoiding their own responsibilities? Are you giving from abundance, or will this act of generosity leave you drained and resentful? Your financial, emotional, and mental resources are finite. Protect them wisely, and you'll uphold the principles of modern Stoicism while building relationships grounded in respect, not obligation. Have you ever had to draw this line with someone close? How did it feel, and what did you learn? Let these reflections help you navigate the delicate balance between generosity and wisdom. 2. The self-serving relative. Relatives and neighbors hold a significant place in our lives, often influencing our emotional well-being and daily interactions. However, not all relationships are created equal, and some require a cautious distance to maintain your peace of mind and dignity. Consider the self-serving relative, someone who sees relationships as one-sided transactions. These individuals are quick to take but disappear when it's their turn to give. Think about Mr. Bin, a kind-hearted man who tirelessly supported his cousin by running errands, driving their children, and even lending his car. But when Mr. Bin needed help with an important project, his cousin brushed him off, claiming to be too busy. This imbalance left Mr. Bin feeling drained and unappreciated, a stark reminder of how transactional relationships can sap your energy. The Stoic secrets to managing such relatives lie in setting firm boundaries. Politely but firmly communicate your limits and don't hesitate to say no to unreasonable demands. Reflect. Are there individuals in your life who take more than they give? How would standing up for your own well-being reshape your relationships? Similarly, Some neighbors exhibit selfish behaviors that undermine the sense of community we strive to build. These are the neighbors who seek favors, but vanish when you need help. Picture Sarah, who constantly borrowed tools and asked her neighbor James for assistance with odd jobs. James always obliged, believing in the goodwill of being a neighbor. But one day, when James had an urgent plumbing issue and asked Sarah if he could borrow her wrench, she declined with an excuse about needing it later. This lack of reciprocity not only strained the relationship, but also made James question his trust in others. When faced with such neighbors, it's essential to protect your time and resources by prioritizing mutual respect and fairness. As the Stoics teach, we can't control others' selfishness, but we can control our response. Have you ever found yourself in James's shoes? What steps did you take or could you take to foster healthier, more balanced interactions? Then, there's the manipulative relative or neighbor, a master at using charm to disguise their true intentions. These individuals often play on your emotions, making you feel guilty or obligated to fulfill their requests. Imagine a holiday gathering where Aunt Maria convinces everyone to pitch in for a group gift, only to discover later that the gift was something she wanted for herself. Such manipulative tactics erode trust and create tension. The key to dealing with this behavior is to remain calm, recognize the manipulation for what it is, and stay true to your values. Remember Epictetus's advice. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When faced with manipulation, take a step back and ask yourself, what boundaries can I set to protect my integrity without letting resentment creep in? The Stoic secrets for navigating difficult relationships boil down to protecting your peace and prioritizing fairness. Whether it's a selfish neighbor, a self-serving relative, or a manipulative individual, the power lies in your ability to establish boundaries and focus on connections that uplift rather than drain you. Reflect on your interactions. Are there relationships in your life that need recalibrating? By being intentional about the energy you give and receive, you create room for healthier dynamics and a more serene life. Remember, the quality of your relationships shapes the quality of your inner world, and choosing wisely is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. 3. The lazy and dependent relative. Relatives who lack initiative and rely heavily on others for support can become a significant source of stress and frustration. These individuals often see the help they receive not as an act of generosity, but as something they are entitled to, creating an imbalance in relationships and leading to resentment. Their dependency, combined with a lack of effort to improve their situation, can drain the financial and emotional reserves of those who support them. A poignant example of this is Ms. Mai's story, who spent 5 years supporting her younger brother. While she worked hard to provide for him, he spent his days playing video games, showing no inclination to find a job or contribute to the household. This ongoing dynamic left Ms. Mai financially strained and emotionally exhausted, a clear demonstration of how unchecked dependency can negatively affect not just the dependent person, but also those around them. When dealing with such situations, it's crucial to find a balance between compassion and setting firm boundaries. Encouraging independence should be the priority, and this often begins with honest and constructive conversations. Instead of continuing to provide indefinite financial or emotional support, focus on offering resources and guidance. For example, helping a dependent relative find job opportunities, teaching them basic financial management, or encouraging them to take on responsibilities around the house can gradually nudge them towards self-sufficiency. However, this requires patience, as change doesn't happen overnight. As in many cases, relatives who rely too heavily on others have become comfortable with the status quo. This can make it tempting for them to resist efforts to change or even guilt others into continuing to support them. Recognize that enabling such behavior is not true kindness. Instead, it perpetuates their dependency and stagnation, preventing them from reaching their potential. Seneca's words resonate here. A gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver. Supporting a relative with the intention of fostering independence is a far greater act of generosity than simply maintaining their reliance on you. True care involves helping them develop the skills and mindset to stand on their own. For those supporting a dependent relative, it's also essential to protect your own well-being. Emotional exhaustion, financial strain, and feelings of resentment can take a toll on your health and relationships if left unchecked. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the importance of creating harmony in your life by focusing on what truly matters, your own stability and peace of mind. If a relative continues to resist efforts to become independent despite your guidance, it may be necessary to establish firm limits on your support. This is not an act of cruelty, but one of self-preservation and respect for your own needs. As Epictetus advises, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. To preserve your stability, you must sometimes make difficult but necessary decisions, even with family. In today's fast-paced and demanding world, where time, energy, and resources are often stretched thin, enabling a dependent relative can become an unsustainable burden. By encouraging them to take responsibility for their own lives, you not only alleviate pressure on yourself but also provide them with an opportunity for growth. While it's not easy to set boundaries with family, it's a crucial step in creating healthier relationships and ensuring balance in your life. This is the essence of modern Stoicism, recognizing what lies within your power to control and acting with wisdom, compassion, and a firm commitment to maintaining your peace. Supporting others in their journey toward independence is not just an act of kindness. It's a way to ensure that both you and your loved ones can lead more fulfilling lives. Have you ever faced a situation where helping a relative or neighbor left you feeling drained or taken advantage of? Comment yes if you've been there, or no if you've been fortunate to avoid such experiences. Stick around until the end of the video, because we'll not only uncover the 3 types of neighbors and relatives to avoid, but also share practical strategies to protect your peace and build healthier, more balanced relationships. You won't want to miss it. Number 3. Positive relationships. 1. Positive people boost inner peace. Let's take a moment to reflect on the relationships that shape our mental and emotional well-being, the ones we nurture and the ones we might need to step back from. Life is too short to carry the burden of toxic connections. As Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Doesn't it make sense to surround yourself with people who bring clarity, peace, and joy? Positive relationships are the foundation of inner balance, while harmful ones can drain our spirit and block personal growth. Let's explore 3 types of neighbors and relatives to keep at a distance, all through the lens of modern Stoicism, which teaches us how to navigate these challenges. First, consider your neighbors. These aren't just those living next door, but anyone who regularly interacts with you. Beware of the gossipers, people who thrive on rumors and negativity. Their tales can pull you into unnecessary drama, leaving you emotionally exhausted. Ask yourself, how often do you feel drained after hearing someone else's petty complaints? A Stoic would remind you to focus on what you can control, your own thoughts and actions, not the chaos of others. Then, there are the competitive neighbors. They measure their lives against yours, creating a toxic environment of comparison that can erode your contentment. Lastly, avoid the irresponsible neighbor. They disregard shared responsibilities and lack accountability, adding unnecessary frustration to your life. These types of individuals distract you from the Stoic pursuit of inner peace and rationality. Now let's turn to relatives. Relationships that often feel unavoidable due to blood ties, but still deserve thoughtful boundaries. The perpetual critic is the first to watch for. This relative constantly finds fault in your actions, chipping away at your confidence, while Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Constant exposure to criticism can take a toll. Then there are manipulators who use guilt, obligation, or affection to control you, often leaving you questioning your own values. Finally, be cautious of enablers. Though well-meaning, these relatives might excuse your bad habits, derailing your efforts toward self-discipline, a key element of a Stoic life. So, what's the solution? Focus on building positive, uplifting relationships that align with modern Stoicism. These are connections that encourage growth and stability, without hidden agendas. A true friend or relative celebrates your success, listens without judgment, and challenges you without diminishing your worth. As Seneca wisely wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." Don't we all seek relationships that help us become our best selves? Positive connections reduce stress, foster resilience, and create a sense of belonging. They become a sanctuary in life's chaos, offering encouragement when you need it most. To nurture these bonds, express gratitude regularly. Let those who uplift you know how much they matter. Be present, supportive, and authentic in your interactions. Life becomes more fulfilling when shared with people who add light, not shadows. So ask yourself, who in your life helps you grow, find peace, and think deeply? And who leaves you feeling drained and off course? The answers to these questions can shape the life you live. By embracing relationships that uplift and distancing yourself from toxic ones, you're not just simplifying your life. You're practicing modern Stoicism. You're transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and clarity. Will you choose better relationships today? The power is yours. 2. Mutual respect ensures stability. Respect is the foundation of all lasting and meaningful relationships. When mutual respect exists, it fosters trust and cooperation, creating a space where everyone feels valued and understood. Think about how you feel when someone acknowledges your boundaries, listens to you without judgment, or appreciates your efforts. It strengthens the connection and builds harmony. This applies to all areas of life, whether it's a coworker respecting your time, a neighbor honoring your peace, or a family member understanding your need for space. However, relationships often falter when respect is ignored, one-sided, or taken for granted. Consider Jane, a hard-working professional, and her colleague Mike. Jane is focused on meeting deadlines while Mike frequently interrupts her with irrelevant chatter. One day Jane sets a boundary, explaining her need for uninterrupted time. Mike respects her request, and over time their working relationship becomes productive and positive. Now compare this to a neighbor who constantly plays loud music at night, ignoring polite requests to stop. In the first case, respect strengthens the bond. In the second, its absence creates tension. Which scenario would you rather experience in your own life? Respect isn't just about preventing conflicts. It's the key to forming deeper, more fulfilling relationships. When people feel heard and valued, they naturally trust each other, and that trust helps resolve disagreements without resentment. Imagine how your own relationships could improve if everyone involved practiced active listening, empathy, and honored boundaries. While respect takes effort, patience, and humility, the rewards, clear communication, less conflict, and mutual security, are worth it. So how can you cultivate respect in your life? Start with small actions. Listen with full attention when someone speaks. Acknowledge their feelings even if you disagree, and respect their privacy while expecting the same in return. Remember, respect is not a one-time act but an ongoing commitment. As the Stoics wisely observed, we cannot control how others behave, but we can always control our own actions. By being a consistent example of respect, you inspire others to follow suit. Here's an important Stoic secret. The respect you show in relationships reflects the respect you have for yourself. Are you honoring boundaries and commitments? Are you listening with intention? If not, what steps can you take to improve? These questions are not about judgment but about self-awareness, a key tool for personal growth. Respect, like all virtues, begins within and radiates outward to transform your connections with others. In the end, relationships built on mutual respect thrive because they create a space for genuine understanding and care. By prioritizing respect, you pave the way for stronger bonds and a more harmonious life. Let this be your call to action. Practice respect in every interaction and notice the difference it makes. What can you do today to bring more respect into your relationships and strengthen the connections that matter most? 3. People who enhance your value. Surrounding yourself with people who enhance your value is one of the most impactful decisions you can make. These individuals see your potential, often recognizing strengths and talents you might overlook. Their encouragement motivates you to push beyond your limits and strive for excellence. This aligns perfectly with the Stoic principle of sympatheia, the interconnectedness of all things, reminding us that by surrounding ourselves with those who pursue virtue and greatness, we set ourselves up to thrive. As Epictetus put it, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. The energy of inspiring people is contagious. Whether it's a mentor offering guidance, a friend encouraging you to aim higher, or a colleague sharing your ambitions, these relationships help you face challenges with determination and resilience. Their belief in you builds confidence and inspires growth. Over time, their influence shapes your mindset, helping you develop the resilience and purpose needed to align your life with your highest aspirations. Building these relationships requires intentional effort. In a world full of fleeting interactions, it's essential to connect with people whose values and goals resonate with your own. This doesn't mean surrounding yourself with like-minded clones, but seeking those who challenge you in ways that foster growth while offering mutual respect and encouragement. To attract these connections, you must embody the qualities you value. Be supportive, goal-oriented, and genuinely invested in others' success. Celebrate their achievements and share in their growth, fostering a virtuous cycle of mutual uplift. At the same time, it's crucial to recognize and avoid toxic influences. Whether it's critical neighbors, envious colleagues, or unsupportive relatives, these relationships can drain your energy and derail your progress. By choosing to distance yourself from negativity and focus on those who inspire and support you, you create an environment conducive to personal and emotional growth. Seneca wisely advised, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you," a principle that remains as relevant today as ever. The most fulfilling relationships are built on mutual respect and shared growth. By actively contributing to others' success, you not only enhance their value but also reinforce your own, creating a cycle of positivity and progress. These connections keep you grounded and focused on qualities that truly matter: integrity, wisdom, and resilience, qualities that stand the test of time. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The people you choose to surround yourself with shape your thoughts, actions, and ultimately your life. In a world obsessed with superficial achievements, relationships that enhance your value go deeper. They guide you through challenges with clarity and grace, reminding you of life's enduring virtues. These connections do more than help you succeed. They help you grow into the person you're meant to be. This is the essence of modern Stoicism. Intentionally cultivating relationships that inspire you to live with purpose, virtue, and resilience. Number 4. Choosing and letting go. 1. Choosing relationships. Let's take a moment to consider one of the most important decisions you make every day: the relationships you choose to nurture and the ones you decide to let go. Relationships shape our happiness, resilience, and growth. As Epictetus said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Think about the people in your life. Do they inspire and support you, or do they drain your energy and peace of mind? Positive relationships provide a safe space to express emotions, seek guidance, and find motivation during life's storms. A friend who listens without judgment and offers thoughtful advice can be the anchor you need when times get tough. But not all relationships are beneficial. Some erode your inner peace and leave you feeling exhausted and discouraged. Modern Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control, and that includes the company we keep. Pay attention to how people make you feel. Do they leave you uplifted or depleted? Choose relationships that align with your values and contribute to your emotional well-being, A supportive friend or loved one celebrates your wins, challenges you to grow, and stands by you in difficult times. On the other hand, toxic connections, those rooted in criticism, manipulation, or negativity, can weigh heavily on your mental and emotional health. It's important to recognize these patterns and have the courage to distance yourself, even if it's difficult. As Marcus Aurelius said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." Letting go of harmful relationships isn't selfish. It's an act of self-preservation. Choosing and letting go are both necessary for a life of balance and peace. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, and don't be afraid to release those who hinder your growth. Ask yourself, who brings out the best in you? Who drains your spirit? By prioritizing relationships that nurture your well-being and releasing those that don't, you're practicing modern Stoicism in a deeply practical way. Isn't it time to take control of the relationships that shape your life? 2. Learning to let go. Letting go of toxic relationships is tough, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do for your peace of mind and personal growth. These connections often chip away at your confidence and happiness, keeping you stuck in cycles of negativity. Think about that friend who constantly downplays your achievements, or a family member who dismisses your feelings. You might tell yourself it's not a big deal, but over time, these interactions drain your energy and self-worth. Letting go doesn't erase the good moments you may have shared, but it does mean prioritizing your well-being and making room for healthier relationships. So, ask yourself, does this relationship bring me peace or does it bring me stress? Distancing yourself from harmful people isn't selfish, it's self-care. Take Sarah's story as an example. She had a coworker, Tom, who always made her feel small by nitpicking her ideas. For a while she tried to ignore it, but eventually, she realized how much his negativity was holding her back. By limiting her interactions with Tom and focusing on supportive colleagues, Sarah found the confidence to excel in her career. Her decision wasn't easy, but it was worth it. How many Toms are in your life, and how much of your energy are they taking? The process of letting go can be painful, but it's also liberating. Start small, set boundaries, reduce contact, and shift your focus toward relationships that nourish you. Remember the wisdom of the Stoics. You can't control others, but you can control how you respond. Often, the fear of hurting someone or losing familiar ties holds us back, but this fear is usually greater in our minds than in reality. Imagine how freeing it would be to focus only on people and situations that bring you joy and growth. Here's a Stoic secret. Letting go is not about rejecting others, but about choosing yourself. It's about reclaiming your energy and aligning your relationships with your values. The strongest connections uplift, not deplete, you. Reflect on your life. Which relationships are worth keeping, and which ones are standing in the way of your happiness? The choice is yours, and it's one that can transform your life for the better. What small step can you take today to move toward peace and positivity? 3. Self-respect and quality relationships. Self-respect is the cornerstone of meaningful relationships, shaping the connections that truly enrich your life. When you value yourself, you naturally attract relationships built on authenticity, empathy, and mutual support. These connections foster personal growth and align with your core values, creating harmony and purpose. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This strength begins with self-respect, guiding you toward relationships that uplift rather than drain you. A friend who genuinely celebrates your successes and offers comfort during struggles exemplifies the kind of bond that enhances your journey. Building such relationships requires the courage to set boundaries and distance yourself from negativity. Modern Stoicism teaches us to be deliberate in choosing who we allow into our lives, recognizing that our emotional energy is finite. Seneca's timeless advice, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you," reminds us to prioritize connections that inspire growth and resilience. Boundaries are not barriers but acts of self-respect, protecting your well-being and ensuring that relationships are built on mutual trust and care. In a world often focused on quantity over quality, meaningful relationships stand out as anchors in a busy, chaotic life. By surrounding yourself with people who genuinely care about your well-being and investing time in nurturing these bonds, you create a network of support that provides strength during challenges and joy during triumphs. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the value of these connections in helping you live a balanced, virtuous life. When you respect yourself and seek relationships aligned with your values, you create a foundation for lasting fulfillment. These bonds reflect your worth and encourage you to become the best version of yourself. As Epictetus said, "Know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." By choosing meaningful relationships, you cultivate a life of purpose, resilience, and enduring happiness. Are you ready to take control of your relationships and focus on the ones that truly uplift and inspire you? If so, comment, "I'm committed," if you're ready to make this change, or "I'm ready," if you're ready to take the first step. Be sure to watch this video until the end, as we'll share actionable insights and practical strategies to help you build a life filled with meaningful and supportive connections. Now let's dive right in with the stone story. Number 5. The story of the stone. 1. Summary of the story. Let me share with you the story of the stone, a timeless metaphor for understanding personal worth. A young monk in search of wisdom was given a stone by his master and told to take it to different places to determine its value. At the market, the stone was valued at $20. At a museum, it was valued at $2,000. Finally, at an antique shop, the stone was offered for $200,000. The lesson is clear. Your worth is not fixed. It changes depending on the environment you put yourself in and how you choose to see yourself. The world often tries to define your worth, but it is up to you to figure out where you truly belong and where your potential can shine brightest. Modern Stoicism teaches us that our external circumstances do not define us. Instead, it is our perspective and our choices that shape our path. Have you ever felt undervalued or out of place, as if those around you didn't see your true potential? Maybe it's because you've been in the wrong environment, like that stone in the marketplace, where others couldn't appreciate your unique qualities. But when you surround yourself with environments that align with your values and talents, your true worth becomes apparent. It's not just about finding the right people, it's about cultivating the confidence to know that you belong in spaces that honor, not diminish, you. How do you find your antique shop? Start by asking yourself, where do you feel most understood, most energized, and most like your authentic self? Surround yourself with individuals who encourage your growth and inspire you to reach higher. At the same time, let go of environments or relationships that stifle you. Remember, like the stone, your worth doesn't change. It's the perception of those around you that does. Modern Stoicism encourages us to take control of our surroundings and decisions, reminding us that our value is ours to determine. The question is, are you placing yourself where your worth is recognized, or are you settling for less? Reflect on this story and take the first step toward an environment where you can thrive. After all, isn't it time to showcase your true potential? 2. Key takeaways. Your surroundings and self-awareness play a powerful role in shaping your value and potential. Just like a rare stone that's overlooked in one place but cherished in another, you flourish in environments that recognize your uniqueness and support your growth. Imagine this. A talented artist named Mia spent years in a small town where her creativity was dismissed as a mere hobby. Frustrated, she moved to a city where her skills were celebrated and her career blossomed. The shift wasn't just about geography. It was about finding a space that aligned with her talents and values. How often do we find ourselves stuck in places or relationships that fail to appreciate what we bring to the table? And more importantly, why do we stay? Recognizing your worth begins with self-awareness. When you understand your strengths and values, it becomes easier to identify whether your environment helps you grow or holds you back. Sometimes this means stepping away from neighbors who gossip and spread negativity, or relatives who dismiss your dreams with criticism. As difficult as it might be, creating distance from such influences allows you to prioritize your energy and focus on what truly matters. The Stoics teach us that our peace comes not from others' opinions, but from our inner sense of purpose. By embracing this wisdom, you take control of your life, building relationships and connections that enhance your journey. Here's a Stoic secret. The key to thriving is not changing who you are to fit your environment, but finding an environment that matches your worth. This doesn't mean avoiding all challenges. Growth often requires discomfort, but it does mean choosing places and people that uplift, not diminish, you. What steps can you take today to align your surroundings with your aspirations? Remember, your value doesn't diminish based on others' inability to see it. Instead, it's up to you to create a life where your worth is recognized and nurtured. What's stopping you from making that choice now? Number 6. Living environment. 1. Positive environment nurtures. The environment in which we live has a profound impact on our mental, emotional, and even spiritual well-being. A positive, nurturing space acts as a sanctuary, offering the peace and stability needed to recharge, reflect, and grow. In modern Stoicism, the concept of external order reflects internal harmony. Just as a clutter-free, light-filled home encourages creativity and focus, a harmonious living environment fosters clarity and purpose. For instance, a home designed with thoughtful touches, from natural light to calming decor, can become a refuge that enhances productivity and personal growth. Similarly, a community grounded in mutual respect and kindness provides a sense of belonging and emotional security, reinforcing the Stoic idea that we thrive best in alignment with our surroundings. The transformative power of a positive living environment cannot be overstated. It reduces stress, promotes mental clarity, and fosters motivation, making it easier to set meaningful goals and work steadily toward them. A peaceful space also cultivates a state of mind where resilience and patience are more easily maintained, aligning with the Stoic teaching that to maintain such an environment, it's crucial to align your living space with your values and aspirations. Choose a home or community that reflects your personality, supports your goals, and nurtures your family's needs. This might mean investing time in organization, cultivating a connection with nature through plants or light, or fostering bonds with neighbors who share your appreciation for peace and respect. By taking these intentional steps, you build an atmosphere that not only provides comfort, but also serves as a catalyst for your overall well-being. Modern Stoicism teaches us that the harmony of our external environment can mirror and amplify our internal state. Creating a living space that embodies tranquility and positivity helps ensure that the energy you project into the world is one of clarity, purpose, and resilience. As you cultivate this harmony, you'll find that the strength gained from your sanctuary enables you to navigate the outside world with confidence and composure. 2. Negative environment hinders. Your environment and self-awareness are pivotal in shaping your worth and the life you lead. Consider this. Just as a rare stone reveals its true value only when placed in the right hands, your unique talents and character flourish in environments that appreciate and nurture them. Imagine a sculptor carefully chiseling a block of marble. Without the right tools and conditions, the masterpiece remains hidden. Similarly, when you surround yourself with people and places that encourage your growth, you begin to unlock your full potential. Stoic secrets remind us that self-awareness is the compass guiding us to these settings. It is through understanding who we are and what we need that we can identify where we truly belong. Think about the environments you choose daily. Are they fostering your aspirations or stifling your growth? A modern story comes to mind. A young woman working in a high-stress job felt constantly overlooked despite her dedication. It wasn't until she transitioned to a workplace that valued creativity and collaboration that her talents shined. In this supportive setting, she not only achieved her goals but also inspired others, showing that the right environment can transform not just your life, but also those around you. Ask yourself, are you in a place that celebrates your abilities, or are you staying in situations that diminish your worth? These questions are not just reflective, they are calls to action. Distance yourself from toxic influences and situations that undervalue you, for they are like weeds in a garden, suffocating growth. Instead, seek spaces where your potential is recognized, your efforts are valued, and your dreams are not just supported but celebrated. Stoic secrets teach us the importance of choice. By aligning your environment with your values, you empower yourself to grow and achieve a life of purpose and fulfillment. In doing so, you craft a reality that mirrors your true worth, just as a rare stone finds its place in a setting that understands its beauty. The lesson is clear. Value yourself enough to choose surroundings that reflect the life you want to live, because your environment plays a key role in shaping your destiny. As you reflect on today's message, remember that the relationships we choose and the boundaries we set shape the quality of our lives. Prioritizing connections that uplift and support you, while distancing yourself from negativity, is not just an act of self-care but a commitment to your own happiness and growth. At Stoic in Your Life, we believe that by embracing respect, letting go of toxic influences, and surrounding yourself with positive energy, you create a foundation for a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. So, what steps will you take today to cultivate better relationships or create a more supportive environment? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful. Together, let's build a community of growth, wisdom, and resilience. See you in the next video.